Hey everybody, happy treasure hunting. I was planning on maybe starting doing some videos about maybe breaking down each of the chapters in each book, The Treasure Inside, or There's Treasure Inside, and Beyond the Map's Edge, breaking down the chapters, breaking down clues, going through some solves, just little things like that. But before we get into that, I was watching or I was responding to some comments on some of my previous videos. And one of the things that kind of caught my attention was, there was somebody that posted, these are fake. And, there's always trolls out there who's going to make comments like that, and you usually ignore things like that. But I saw several of them, actually. And it wasn't just one person here and there. There were several comments talking about that these treasures are fake. And so that got me really thinking about, is the possibility there that these are fake? I mean, if you really, really think about it, I mean, it would be very easy to do to write a book saying that, buy this book at $50 a piece and there's treasure somewhere, but there never is a treasure. And it just goes on and on and on and on. And meanwhile, they're making money off a book. And I guess that's a real possibility. I just wonder what you guys think of that. I mean, obviously, I think the treasures are real, or I wouldn't be searching for them. And I'm not going to say that I'm having any second thoughts or second guesses about it. It was just something that I thought was interesting, because it made me really think back to my journey into treasure hunting. I mean, because I've always been into treasures. I've always been fascinated with them. Some of the ones that I can think of early on. I'm infatuated with pirates and pirate history and lost pirate treasure. I don't know if that comes from loving the Goonies when I was a kid, but one of the first treasures that I remember being interested in was, the Captain Kidd supposedly hid a treasure, or Blackbeard supposedly hid a treasure, uh, Jean Lafitte supposedly hid treasure, and I remember being fascinating and how cool would it be to go find a pirate treasure, or the rumor that the Oak Island, that there's pirate treasure there, or just treasure in general there. And then it made me remember that when I first got into reading those things and getting really into it, it would always come down to, eventually it would be, is it even true? I mean, those are just myths. There's nothing to support it, or even the whole fact that, what if somebody already found it? And it got to that point where, as an adult, can I really afford to waste all the time and energy and resources into something that, one, maybe isn't even real, or two, has already been found and there's just nothing there to begin with? And it's not just pirate treasures that I've thought about that. I mean, I used to be fascinated with, the city of gold, and supposedly in South America, and um, just any kind of lost treasure that's ever been out there. The Beale treasure, or the Beale cipher, and Victoria's Peak treasure, and just all those things. El Dorado, like I said, the city of gold, El Dorado. That's the word I was thinking of. And it would always be, they're not real. They're not. Can you really go after them? And I remember, as it would be a situation, where I'd get really into it and I'd read about it and I'd get infatuated with it, and then it would come down to, after weeks or months, and it would be like, yeah, let's focus on something else. Let's focus on something that's real. And I think that's what was when the Forrest Fenn treasure first came to my attention. Remember, because I used to Google, like, what are some real lost treasures that are still out there to be found. And I remember when the Forrest Fenn treasure came out, I remember thinking, wow, okay, that's a real treasure. That's something that I could really go out and find. I mean, I never did go out and actually search for it. Never had the opportunity to get out there and head out west. But that is what infatuated with me. And if you've watched any of my previous videos, I think that's what I kind of brought up was when I read a couple years ago that the Forrest Fenn treasure had been found. I was very disappointed in the matter. It was one of those, even though I never went and actually put boots on the ground and search for it, I thought that I would one day, and that I thought that one day I'd be the one that found that treasure. And so when the Golden Greed show came out and I found out about Justin Posey's treasure and became infatuated again, and in researching that found that there's a treasure inside by John Collins Black, and then even the Lady Liberty treasure that I haven't got the book for that yet, but I plan on it. But I remember that's my initial thoughts were just like the Forrest Fenn. Okay, these are real treasures. These are really things that I can go find. These are things, and if they are found, it'll be known that they're found, and I wouldn't have to keep looking for something that's already been found. But then when you really think about it, it's like, wow, what if they're not real? I mean, would there be any? There's no recourse for anybody that's actually searching for it. I mean, you couldn't go out there and sue them. I mean, technically, could you? Yeah, but it would have to be proven that it's fake to begin with. And then you'd actually have to be out something right now. I mean, what could you say? What could I say that I'm out? I'm out the $50 that I spent on the book, my time reading, searching, but I'm not out anything. I'm out $50 for each treasure. As of right now, if I was to go make a trip out west, okay, a little bit more added to that, but could you really claim those damages? But that's saying that it's proven that it's fake. I mean, how are you going to prove that it's fake? It's not like Justin Posey would come out and say, "Yeah, I was just pulling your guys' leg," or John Collins Black and say, "Yeah, it was all fake." I mean, I just don't anticipate that happening, even if it were true. So then you get to that situation where if nobody ever finds it, who's to say if it was real or not? So, I mean, that's a legitimate concern. Like I said, I obviously think they're real. Like I said, I'm not going to stop searching for them. It was just something that I was just, food for thought. Like I said, I started reading some of the comments of people saying that, and I guess I just want to know what other people thought. I mean, obviously, I don't think if anybody's watching these videos that they think that the treasure is fake. But maybe you do. Like I said, if somebody's commenting, putting these things, more than one person. So I don't know. It's just an interesting food for thought. I just wondered what everybody else thought. And if there is people that are watching it and that are adamant that it's fake, why? What is it that makes you think that it's fake? I mean, I remember a lot of people saying that the Forrest Fenn treasure was fake. And then obviously somebody found it. And I do understand that there's still some people that don't think that it was really found, that some people think that Forrest Fenn set up the guy to get it who found it. Because I don't think I fall into that conspiracy theory at all. So like I said, I just, I'm interested in hearing what you guys think. I still am infatuated with the other treasures too. Like, I would love to believe that Captain Kidd really hid a treasure and it's somewhere out there. I would really love to think that Jean Lafitte really hid a treasure and it's somewhere out there to be found. And so I'll always be infatuated with that kind of stuff. And I'm still going to search. Like I said, part of the fun is the search in itself. Like I said, one of the things I love about these treasures is the history of it. Like I said, I'm learning history. You're going out and seeing things that you don't get to see. Like I said, I'm pretty excited actually to kind of get into this Lady Liberty hunt. I've just recently found out that they've found, I think, up to 4 of those treasures now. So those are starting to kind of roll out a little bit. And so, yeah, it's fun. Well, just want to know what your thoughts are. If you have any thoughts or ideas on that, go ahead and drop a comment. Be sure to like and subscribe. And hey, let's go find these treasures out for real, and let's prove to everybody that they're not fake. Until next time, let's see if you can find them before I can.